In today's lesson, we are going to make what I consider a very simple yet fun and playful bouquet. So we're going to make a mason jar flower arrangement with our dahlias and flowers that you can easily grow in your garden. What I love about the mason jar is that it is a perfect size that you could easily gift to a friend or a neighbor or a coworker. It could sit on a kitchen table, it could sit next to the kitchen sink or in a bathroom. It's a great size that really could go anywhere. And I found these super cute mason jars that kind of like to think of them as like a butterfly or a bumblebee and some flowers. And here's a little secret that I like to do. I have these mason jar grids to make arranging super easy and super fast. This eliminates any need for putting tape around the rim or using floral foam, both of things that I really try strongly not to use ever. So to get started, all you have to do is take this mason jar grid, which we will link for you down in the course notes. So you're gonna put this on top of your mason jar, take your mason jar lid, and you're just gonna screw this on right here. And then once that's on, it's time to let the fun begin. So we have a bucket of flowers. As we go along, I'll tell you what each flower is. I always like to start my mason jars with my greenery. So this first piece of greenery is a thornless raspberry stem, and I use these from spring all the way through fall. They just make such a great greenery, and most of the time they're pretty bug free. So I just always check, make sure there's no big bug bites. If there are on a leaf, I'll cut that out. But I'm gonna just start by taking my scissors, cutting this to the length I want, and I'm just gonna put this right in one of the grids here. And what's so nice is it's not gonna flop all over the place, where when you don't have any structure, there's a little bit more movement in your grid. So let's see here. I just have one, since we don't need to make a super huge arrangement with a mason jar. So that's nice. I probably have more flowers here than what you're actually going to need. This next one, when you rub the leaves, this is scented geranium. Lots of people grow these in pots or in their garden. I grow 60 feet of scented geraniums because I love the scent so much. So I'm just gonna put this in here also, and I'm gonna build my base with greenery. And I'm gonna move this right here, the raspberry green around, and I've got another scented geranium stem. I have a couple here, let's see. So I pre-harvested all of these out in the field. I'm just gonna add another stem. And what's nice is I'm doing this on a Lazy Susan, so I can spin this around as I go and just kind of look at the whole bouquet, get a visual from all aspects and all sides. The next thing I like to do on my mason jar is choose my focal flower. So for this one, this is one of our 2023 seedlings from the Flowering Farmhouse. That means this was grown from a seed that the bees helped us cross-pollinate last year. And so really like this one. This one is what's considered kind of clock-faced, where it's sitting flat. So while it's a little bit harder to use in a traditional wrapped bouquet, it's perfect for a mason jar where I need my dahlia to stand straight up. So I'm just gonna put this right here in the center. And now I'm choosing that is gonna be the focal piece for my bouquet. So I can spin this around, make sure the greenery is hitting right where I want it to before I go on. So I'm gonna move this. It's a little bit harder to move the pieces around once you get going, but I like to get the first few pieces nice and in place before going too far. So okay, now I have my focal flower where I want it. The next thing I like to do is I like to add some filler flowers. One of my favorite fillers that I can never have enough of is yarrow. Look how nicely that looks with the green and the pink in the dahlia. And I'm just gonna put a couple of these in here, and I'm gonna spin this around. I always find that it's easier for me to go with my right hand and put it on the right side at an angle versus trying to do one this way and one over here. I just find that my bouquets come together. And this one's a little bit taller, so I'm gonna cut a little bit off the bottom so I can stagger it around. And then I'm going to find some more fillers here. Another filler that I like to use is Status. This one also matches really nicely with the colors in this bouquet. And Status dries really well. It lasts forever in a vase. So this is a great long-lasting filler flower. So I'm going to spin this around again. I'm going to go in from the right here. And next I'm going to add a few more dahlias before adding other things. So again, I have another seedling. All the dahlias I've harvested here are from our breeding patch. So maybe in a few days in a few years, you'll see these offered through our tuber sales. But it is super fun to grow from seed because you just never know what you're going to get each dahlia. It feels like being a kid on Christmas morning where you wake up with a little surprise. So the idea with this bouquet is not to use hundreds or tons and tons of flowers. The idea is to just have a small amount and let them really spread out without cramming them all into the bouquet. So now I'm going to add, look at this water lily. This is also a seedling. This came from a Kelgleanne, was the parent of this one. So I'm going to put this one a little bit lower down here. Because what I want is no matter what angle you're looking at this bouquet, I want you to be able to see a dahlia. So I have 4 in here. The next thing I want to add is a spike. So I have these gorgeous blush snapdragons. This is a Costa silver. And so I'm just going to put these in and let them add some nice height to the bouquet here. So we want your eyes to be drawn throughout with different heights and levels. I have another one of the pink ones here. I'm going to try and put it to this side. Again, I'm going to go from my right and just put it right in here. And I like to sometimes go across the lines on the grid to give it a little bit of an angle. So the more angles you can add to your bouquet, the more movement you create in it. So I'll spin this back around so you can see. I have a few more. I've got another pink one here. This one, I think I'm going to come from right over here. Again, I am keeping it going in on my right hand here. If you're left-handed, you could do this from the left and do a reverse clockwise spin. But I find that spinning clockwise works really well for me on these bouquets. I'm just digging through here, seeing what all I harvested the other day out in the field. I harvested these last night for this and put them in the cooler to condition overnight. Here is a Cupcake Cosmo. Again, I'm going to go in from the right. I love how they just kind of bounce around, add some movement to the bouquet. There really are no rules when you're making a mason jar bouquet. I do like to always have my focal flower, greenery, a filler flower, some sort of disc. Like here I have the discs are my cosmos. I like to have spikes, and I like to add some air to my bouquet. So I've got a couple fun things to add air to this bouquet today. Here is some scabiosa. And so let me cut off some of the side stems. This could also be considered a disc, but because it's so small, it just adds something light and airy to the bouquet. So I'm going to spin this around again, and I'm just going to add some scabiosa in a few spots here. All of these are flowers, like I said earlier, that you can easily grow in your own garden, and all go very well with dahlias throughout the season. Let's see here. Here's another scabiosa I have. This is a white one. This one's actually a perennial, while the others are considered annuals. And the annuals I have found will often self-seed and actually tend to come back almost every year just by self-seeding if you let some go to seed. I also have these globe amaranths here. These dry incredibly well, add some fun air to your bouquet. So I'm just going to put this right here again, coming in from the right, and I'm going to spin this around. I'm noticing that as I spin it around, I have some movement coming over here. I'd like to add a little bit more movement over here. So I'm going to spin this around again. I'm just going to add that snapdragon right there. You can see how it's looking as I spin it around. It's really helpful having it on this Lazy Susan because I can see where I'm missing or could add some flowers. So I'm going to use some more scabiosa, and I'm going to just tuck them in right in the front here. I'm going to add another. Look at this gorgeous color of the scabiosa here. This actually came from the same seed packet as this, and I think it was a seed that made its way in that wasn't supposed to be in. this particular seed packet, but I am loving the color. And we'll add another Cosmo here. Let's see. They're starting to get tangled in here. This one has 2 flowers that I'm going to cut separately. Often I like to harvest Cosmos before they're fully open so that you have a longer base life with them. So I'm going to tuck that in. I just love the movement it adds. So this would be a fun midsummer bouquet with lots of color. I've brought these to baby showers before, just as a surprise to neighbors. They make great bouquets for your child's teacher, or a birthday bouquet, or a hostess gift when you're going to a friend's house for dinner. So let me spin this around. I could stop right here. I think it's looking really beautiful. Sometimes I make the mistake of overstuffing a bouquet and trying to just add too much because I just keep going. So let's take a look. I like to get down at the level of the bouquet, and I'm just going to spin it around here. One thing that I might do is I could add some ribbon right here, and I think when we finish this we'll do that to show you how nice it can look, just adding a little something to draw your eyes down here. But for now I do have a couple more small dahlias that we'll just tuck right in here. Let's see. I always like to look for an open mason jar spot in the grids where it can fit in nicely without forcing it, and sometimes varying the height. So this one's going to be nice and short right down here. So we have that, and then I'm going to spin it clockwise again, and I still feel like the back could use just a tiny bit more. That's where our status comes in. So I'm going to add a little bit of status here. Snip it and tuck it right in here. Just to give a little bit more color down low. And then I'll do one more. I'll cut this one here and stick it in right here. Okay, let me give that a spin. I'll take this off the table. Here, this stuff. I always keep a little black bucket next to me where I can take my scraps and compost them when I'm done. So let's spin this around here. And there you have a beautiful, quick, simple mason jar bouquet that anyone would be excited to receive. So let me grab a quick ribbon and we will wrap this up. So I just cut some raffia and I'm going to tie just a simple bow. I've probably got too much ribbon here, but let's see. And then you could tie a little card onto this or a little message. I sometimes like to just make these mason jar bouquets and have my daughter go drop them off on someone's door and knock and disappear. Especially during COVID, that was really nice when we did the contactless drop-offs. So there we go. There is our bouquet ready to deliver and brighten someone's day. Well, flower friends, I hope you will give this a try, and I'm sure that these mason jars will become a new favorite of yours. So happy gardening!